Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. If you're new, this is definitely a one-off kind of video, but if you've been around for a while, this is also kind of a one-off video. So I decided to give it a shot to do a kind of Hobonichi 5-year with me every once in a while, like if I have a day off or something cool happen. I did one for Lunar New Year. I didn't film it. I kind of just wanted to test how it went. And I posted the picture in the Coffee Monster Co. Facebook group, and everyone kind of went berserk about it. So I gave, it some thought, and I thought it would be really fun to just occasionally do a page in my Hobonichi 5-year. Also because I had people reach out about that in general. I just feel like there's not a ton of content out there on Hobonichi 5-year. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. I feel like there's a lot for like the Hobonichi cousin and the Hobonichi just like kind of OG planner size. But I just don't see a lot of the 5-year journals out there. And I think it's because they're really hard. They're hard to keep up with, and they're hard to make a daily practice. And I just thought it would be fun to hop on every once in a while and kind of do one of these fun spreads, especially considering this is my 3rd year. And as you can tell, there is a big, nice, lovely blank from last year. I have literally no idea what happened. I would like to endeavor to fill in all the blanks by the time the book is done, but I am also open to leaving it blank. I think that it's just a more realistic snapshot, and I do have other planners and things I can probably look in if I really was curious, but I'm not going to expend a lot of energy trying to go back and fill in those spots. If I have the time, cool. If not, it's okay. It's hard enough just to get the daily excerpt in there, along with keeping up with 3 other planners and Project Life and working in 9 to 5 and living an hour and change from a boyfriend. So, yeah, that's a lot. So needless to say, I just am going to do the best I can, and I encourage you to do the same. So you will see lovely Friday the 13th happening on the page. So I happen to have the day off, and I spent it gallivanting all over the city. I drove everywhere. So I live in the Atlanta area, and I basically drove all over the city, literally, both in the city and in surrounding areas. So I started the day off at Maple Street Biscuit Company. I absolutely love going there for breakfast if I know I'm going to have like a really, really full day. And ironically, there's one about 10 minutes from my mom's house, if that. And I specifically needed to go to her house to drop off my Christmas tree and to give her a Lunar New Year tumbler that she'd asked me to try to hunt down from Target. So I found it for her and then took it to her. And then went on to Trader Joe's, which is kind of like about within 5 minutes from her house. So I was kind of trying to run errands in that vicinity. Went to Trader Joe's, and I was specifically on the hunt for sweet potato gnocchi that was like in a brown butter sage sauce kind of thing that I had seen on Instagram. I don't know how Instagram's got my number like that, but they did. And so I was lucky and found that. And then a cacio de pepe one that I would like to use with maybe like some grilled chicken or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it sounds like an awesome side, or maybe like a really great foundation for something. So I grabbed a bag of it too. I ended up doing the gnocchi with some apple butter sage pork chops I did. And they were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. Both the pork chops and the gnocchi was really good. I can highly recommend the Trader Joe's frozen gnocchi. And then I went on to the Great Wall Supermarket, which is the Chinese supermarket. And oh my God, that was intense. It was not just Chinese food. It was many other Asian cuisines. it was a lot. And I probably looked like I had been dropped in the middle of China because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I was running all over the place with my Google Translate open. And I finally, in a fit of going up and down the frozen food aisles, looking at buns and looking for dumplings, I finally just broke down and asked for help, and they were so kind to me. And then I got in the line, and the woman that was behind me happened to kind of just like look at what I'd put on the conveyor belt, and she asked me what I was making specifically, and we talked about it for a minute, and she actually told me that I didn't need one of the items, which saved me like $6, which I was really grateful for because hello, inflation. So she was incredibly kind, and I just felt like this is the best thing ever. Like, everyone was so kind, everyone was so helpful, and I don't know that I've talked about it. Maybe I did in the plan with me, one of the plan with me's, but just as a side note, I had up until this point never even eaten Chinese food. Legitimately never eaten Chinese food. I've had like Asian foods, but specifically like some of these Chinese dishes I've made, I'd never even had like any precursor like to know what it should or shouldn't taste like. So it was very interesting. But everyone was super kind and helpful that I needed. And then from there, I decided to just bite the bullet and go on to Ponce City Market. We were waffling, and we did end up going the following Monday, which was a train wreck. And I'm really glad I did go on Friday. And I did decide to treat myself to two $5 donuts and lunch. And I really needed that. It was more like dinner by the time I ate. It was like a very, very early dinner, but it was nice to like slow down for a minute. I had been running errands all day, and it really just felt good to sit down and eat a meal. So that was really lovely. And like I said, we did end up going the following Monday, so it didn't end up necessarily being like a panic situation. But I had a massive wardrobe malfunction occur at Ponce City when we went the following Monday. So I was extremely glad that I had already gotten my errand portion done, because there would have been no way to make that happen on Monday after all. As far as the journaling goes, I just took a second to talk about subscriptions. I had completely forgotten that day that Coffee Monster Co. subscription relaunch was occurring, and it was fine because it was unlimited at that point, but I'd completely forgotten in the haze of everything. And then I decided to treat myself to the Ritual Planner Sabat boxes, which I've already done the unboxing on the channel. So if you're interested in those either of those subscriptions, I don't have one for Coffee Monster Co. yet because I opted for the kind of 2-in-1 at a lesser price that will ship in March. I am a very firm believer that my patience is really strong. And for the little bit of a price break, it was worth it for me just to wait. I knew there was nothing in there that was necessarily seasonal or time sensitive, and it was fine. I would take the discount and let my patients do the work. I really love how this spread came together. I really enjoy the fact that I am trying to use my Tombow Fudenosuke brushes and my Tombow brushes in general a little bit more. As far as all the colors go, just let me know if there's a specific color that you want to know. Some of them are layered on top of each other to look darker as well, since this is the Hobonichi paper and they do tend to show up lighter. I will say I am absolutely obsessed with how adorable those dumplings turned out looking. I do think, because I did this page after the Lunar New Year page. Like I said, I did the Lunar New Year as like a crash test, basically, to see how that was going to go and what I was going to think. And I really don't love how the dumplings turned out on that page. They just look funky. I think I liked my other dragon fruit better. Just playing, compare and contrast. I think that that's a fun thing to do with your own work as you progress. I think if I were to do it again, I would probably not have drawn the biscuits and gravy just because there's really no color. The Tombow didn't show up very loudly. And then it was on a white plate, so it just looks very bleh. But I also think that I wanted to use stickers in there, but I like that I just did everything in a doodle fashion. I love that I went back and did the gold around that Friday lettering in the end just to help kind of make it pop a little bit more. I do like to do lots of stars on any Friday the 13th spread. But I hope you guys enjoyed this and will enjoy future little Hobonichi kind of Hobonichi with me, because it's not really a plan with me. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, enjoy creating your own wonderlands. Bye, everybody.